So I did a thing. I have acquired a BA Falcon. Seems fitting for this channel given the nugget over there. So a quick rundown on it. It's a 2005 BA Mark II. The intercooler probably gave it away already, but it is an XR6 turbo. Keen observers might notice that it is dusty, and that's because this thing sat for 10 years in a variety of places, but it hasn't driven in over 10 years. That's because it's done its clutch. So currently it's undrivable, which is kind of the catch. But as a result of it sitting for so long, it hasn't been driven, and it's only got 132,000 Ks on it, which is very low for a BA of this year, or any BA really, because they all seem to get thrashed. But the interior is mint. We got a sunroof as well, because we're bougie like that, and it's a 6-speed manual, which is awesome, and definitely the most desired among the Falcons, I believe, in my opinion. So this thing looks ratty as right now, so our first course of action is definitely going to be a wash. But I think we'll go a step further and we'll actually do a cut and polish on the car. I'll show you roughly what I do when it comes to polishing and trying to revive the paint on a car. I'm not an expert detailer by any means. There's plenty of those on YouTube, but I'll give you the rough rundown of what I'm gonna do to this. It's pretty basic. I feel like anyone can do it at home pretty easily. But to get cracking on this thing, we'll push her outside and we'll get her gurneyed off. So we've just given it a quick hose down to get any loose dirt, leaves, whatever off it. But the paint's still quite dirty. For a car that's been sitting around for 10 years, a lot of dirt's gonna get baked in, and we need to get rid of pretty much as much of it as we can. So what we're gonna do next is snow foam the car and give it a hand wash. And then after that, we're gonna go along and clay bar it. We wanna get the paint as smooth as possible with as little dirt in it as possible. And the idea there is it'll make our buffing job a lot easier. I'm getting super excited to see this thing when it's all buffed up. When it's wet and you get the water sticking to it, it looks glossy as, which is nice. I know it's not because it's got real oxidized paint and that, but we'll see how much of it we can bring back. I'm actually a bit optimistic about this one. I think this is going to come up really nice in comparison to how it is now, but man, have a look at it. BA Falcon. Oh, I love it. All right, let's keep going. Clay bar next. All right, so we're on our boot here. We've got pretty much all of the foreign contaminants off it now, but all I'm doing is a little bit on this, a little bit on the panel, and we're just going little back and forth motions like this. You can feel it get abrasive and then go nice and smooth. Once it's smooth, we know the dirt's off the panel and it's been lifted up onto our sponge. And probably after every panel that we do, we're gonna go and rinse this off just to make sure that we don't cross-contaminate our panels. So we'll get this one wrapped up real quick. That's starting to feel pretty good to me. That's just gliding across now. All right, so what I'll do now, I'm gonna new microfiber cloth. Just gonna wipe off our clay lube here, and I'll see if you can hear the difference. So this is before. You can hear that the panel's still quite dirty. If we go here, much quieter, very smooth now. That's ready to buff. So before, after. Our car's all clay barred now. Our paint feels very smooth. So that means we're ready to start cutting and polishing. So I'll show you what we've got to do that with. This is a 6-inch random orbital polisher with a 21mm throw. That's what I prefer just because it smashes the panels out nice and quick. I like to use Angel Wax Resurrection for my cut. You can actually kind of get away with using this as an all-in-one, meaning like you only have to do one-step polish with this stuff, but We'll see how we go, because if need be, I'll go over it again with the Enigma all-in-one and a orange foam pad. We're stocked up with heaps of microfibers. We've got some rapid detailer to wipe away the excess polish, and we also have a little 3-inch random orbital over there just to get to little nooks and crannies and headlights and things like that. I'll show you how I do it. So we've got our fresh microfiber pad here. I'm going to turn the speed all the way down on our polisher. I'm just going to prime the pad a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of product, just 3 little dots there, just over like pea-sized really. I'm just going to spread it around a little bit. Now with compound, less is more. So you don't want to go absolutely coating this thing in the cutting compound, because then it's just going to glide and it's not actually going to cut in. It's going to be too lubricated almost. So we're just going to chuck 1, 2, 3. Less than you'd think, like 3 tiny little dots on that pad, and I'm just going to work in sections. So I'm starting on a really low speed. I'm initially just spreading the product out. I'm not going straight into cutting it, I'm just spreading it out. Once it's spread out, then I'll hit it with a bit more speed and get a bit more heat into the panel, and we'll see how it cuts. So that's our initial cut. For this section, I might just quickly hit it with the second step and just see how it comes out. It's pretty much the same procedure, except this time we're using our all-in-one polish. Just grabbing a fresh microfiber, I always rip the tags off, just because they can scratch paint. I'll wipe off our polish here and get an idea of what we're gonna be working with. For what it is, that's not too bad. So you can definitely see the before and after from our little 2-step there. Is it perfect? No. It's still got spots and marring and all that, but in terms of gloss, it's definitely a lot better. So now we're going to do the whole car. Man, that does look nice at the right angles. I kind of want to smash this out, so I'm probably just going to chuck in my headphones and just go to town on it. I think I might just set this up as a time lapse, and we'll see how we go. Okie dokie, next day, skipped forward a bit, it's already on a hoist and it's already in the air. We're just about to drain the oil out of it, the 10-year-old oil in this thing. It's nearly out of fuel, so we're nearly out of 10-year-old fuel, which is cool. It means we don't have to really drop the tank or anything. We will put a fuel filter in it because I've been advised that's a good idea. I don't know, this thing's like, it's not a write-off, but it's definitely like a BA Falcon, you know, so your tail shaft is, the diff push is not great, and I don't know, just things everywhere, bushings and stuff. So anyway, we'll pull the oil. Were you really keen to do this, Ben? Because you got the spanner on there and everything.
No, I don't want to do it, it's your car.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, give me the
Okay, you can do that. It'd be funny if just like nothing comes out and the dipstick's been lying to us. Oh, yum. Look at that. I wouldn't say chunky, but it's definitely a thick shake. It's not like off milk consistency. There's no flakes, it's just very brown. You know, like it's dirty. Genius. So now we have some fresh oil in it, fresh filter, fresh fuel filter. Went to the servo and got a Jerry of 98 as well. Fuck, how's the point on that? Fresh Jerry of 98, so it's got fuel in it now too. All right, you wanna start it, Ben? I really wanna hear this. The previous owner was, hell yeah. I'm so proud of that battery. That thing is putting in work. That is not a Falcon battery, this is tiny. Anyway, the previous owner was very proud of his little dose pipe thing. He reckons it sounded identical to a VL Commodore. Probably won't be able to load it up because it's got no clutch. So we'll just have to free rev it, but I am very curious to hear it. She's up to temp now, so we're gonna rev it a bit. I really wanna hear it. I'm gonna chuck the mic like right next to this so we get the full experience, but let's hear what this VL Commodore spec VA sounds like. He wasn't lying. That's something. I'll leave it up to you whether that's a good or bad thing, but I think that's hilarious. Well, it's probably about time to address the interior now. The previous owner left it pretty clean, so honestly, a vac and a wipe down's probably gonna do this thing justice, but he also did try and wire in some footwell lighting, which we're gonna delete because that's bad. But if you want a bit of a throwback, this is the phone holder. Man, look at that. I can't even remember what that connector's called, but that would have been up to date when this was last on the road. I'll just yank all this stuff out, clean it up, give it a vac and a wipe down, and I'll just show you the final result because who wants to watch me wipe an interior down?